So I'm here. My name is Ailani. If you have not been here before, I am a former public and private school teacher, and I currently homeschool my it took me a second there, 4 kids. The youngest one does have Down syndrome, and every Tuesday night, because I am a certified teacher and I'm keeping up with all the things politically, and I do homeschool evaluations and consultations and YouTube. I am coming every Tuesday night at 9:30 to answer your questions for new homeschool moms, seasoned homeschool moms, moms that have specific to Florida questions, specific to homeschool questions, curriculum questions, whatever you guys have. I am jumping on here for an hour and I'm making myself available. So, you guys are welcome to leave comments in the chats, and I will wait for like the ball to get rolling. I did not turn off my notifications. I just realized, or I did not put the do not disturb on. So I'm hoping nobody decides to call me during this hour at 9:30. I don't think anybody will. So so I hope everything is going well for you guys. I'm reading some comments that have been here for a while. No, you don't look like a crazy. Okay, gotcha. So questions, if you guys have questions, I will just talk until you guys have questions. So I hope everybody had a really good weekend, and I went camping, if anyone wanted to know that. Okay. So do you have any advice for free, low-cost resources for teaching a pre-K their letters? I mean, let's see. Like, there's so many words that came through my mind and so many different options. I mean, there's always YouTube. I hate saying that. YouTube, it does have some great resources on there. Flashcards. That's if you want to go completely free. It's learning letters is not really, it seems like a daunting task and scary, but she loves crafting and she does love YouTube. Oh, when you say crafting, you can always, I mean, there's lots of different crafts you can do. Like you can do tracing, letters. You could do Play-Doh, building letters with Play-Doh. For some reason, building letters helps with memory. So any kind of Play-Doh when you build the letters. I do know, I see, I don't, I see, I wish I had all my resources up here, but I don't. All About learning? Nope. It is called I can't think, and I'm getting over, by the way, a cold. So my brain is not working as well as it normally does. I had the stomach virus with the rest of my family. So I'm trying to think of the name of that one curriculum. I want to say All About Learning, but it's not, because it's all about reading, all about spelling. It's Learning with Ease. I don't know. Anyway, it's building the letters. You can get stuff on can't think of it. Anything that builds letters, like constructing letters. There's like these wood, you get wood, put it together. You guys, my brain, I can't think of the name of that curriculum where they have the wood pieces, you put them together to form letters. It's called Not All About Reading, Not All About Spelling. It's, oh, okay. Good. I'm waiting for one of y'all to answer my question. Like, read my mind. Read my mind. No, I can't think of it. And it's a preschool curriculum. They do the Play-Doh with the letters. They have these letter flashcards, and you do the Play-Doh on top of the letter flashcards. They have, oh, one thing we really like is the chalkboard, where you write the letters on the chalkboard. And can't think of the name of the curriculum. I love this. The questions are coming in. It'll come to me, and then I'm going to blurt it out and be like, it's called this. Thank you. Handwriting. I was waiting for one of y'all to read my mind. Handwriting Without Tears, but it's the preschool edition. So it's Learning Without Tears, I think is what it's called. And they have the different things. You could just get the manipulatives and the wooden things, building letters. There's some stuff. Teacher Pay Teachers always has some really good resources. If you're wanting to learn how to read, the Learning How to Read in 100 Days is really good. I wouldn't recommend it for special needs, though. For those that are autism, a lot of people with children with autism could do that because some of those kids are really sharp and they'll catch it right away. Same with ADHD, but like when there's delays and it takes them a long time to learn, and some kids with autism, because I've learned autism's a spectrum. You meet one kid that has autism, you've met one kid that has autism. So it depends on their ability to learn. So the 100 days of learning how to read. Okay, I hope that helped. Teacher Paid Teachers has resources too. Okay, I'm gonna go back. There's questions. Yay. Crafting pipe cleaners with letters. Any way to build the letters. Okay, I find it extremely difficult teaching different ages levels at the same time. I feel so scattered. So, what I like to do is find one subject or two subjects that you can teach them together. So, math, obviously, you can't teach them together. Writing, when you're doing the hardcore, like teaching the writing, I mean, high school writing is mixed in with the literature, the ELA, the literature stuff, and the history, but and sometimes science. But when it comes to writing, like the beginning stages, you have to do writing by itself. But you can do things like when they're younger, like history. Younger, I'm thinking like middle school and elementary school. You can do history. No, you can do high school too. Now, okay, if you do this, you do, let's say, example, history together, and then you separate it out in elementary school has one type of assignment. Middle school might have the same assignment as elementary depending on the level, and then a middle school type assignment. And then high school, usually you just default to writing me a paper or more difficult short answers or that kind of stuff. So each one has a different kind of assignment after you do it, but like the read alouds and the videos can all be the same. Something that I learned is teach to the highest level, like the highest or the highest, I don't want to say grade level, but the highest ability or age. So if you teach to the top tier, the other kids are going to rise to that occasion. So that's helpful. Science you could do together because science experiments are great, except for maybe dissections for little kids. That might not be cool. But I'm thinking like some of the stuff that they do in chemistry, if like the older high school kids have to do some kind of chemistry experiment, it doesn't hurt for the elementary school kids to watch alongside. And then actually, if you could get like the older kids, and this could go across any subject, to help teach the younger kids, like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, da 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 da. So one thing that we've done is spelling. Like lately, our spelling, I've always bragged about how wonderful my kids spell. Well, all of a sudden, like, I don't know what happened this year, but their spelling is just dying down. They just forgot how to spell all of a sudden. So what I've been having them do is work more with Naomi, teaching Naomi and getting some basic foundations of phonics and stuff like that. And so they're teaching the younger kids, but they're also reviewing some of that foundational stuff too. I don't know if that kind of helps. My daughter has Down syndrome and is 3. Yay. She loves books. I want to teach her letters as well. It will take a long time, so be prepared for that, but don't be discouraged. Okay, I will say, teaching a child that has Down syndrome, you really get to learn like all the things, all the different methods, because you move so slow, like you're taking this detour. They always say that as like taking a detour. But no, you do. You move so slow through these things, and every little accomplishment, it's like, yay! So, so it's a lot of repetition over and over and over again. And sometimes you're like, why aren't you getting this? We've done the letter A like 6,000 times. You know the letter A, you've had it a few times. And she like forgets it. But sometimes she like just doesn't want to say it and she knows it. So I've actually found her like we go through our books every single day, and she won't, I'm like, here, read the book. Like, this book, read it. And like, she'll memorize it just like all kids do, right? And she memorized it. And so she'll like, no, I don't know. And then like 10 minutes later, I have to walk off to deal with a kid. I'll turn around and she's like reading the book, no problem. All of a sudden, she knows words that she claimed that she didn't know a second ago. So there's always that too. And they say that it's pretty, well, I'm doing a live. My kids are walking. My husband is putting my kids to bed tonight because, not just because I'm doing it live, but because I'm in recovery mode. I'm doing it live. I know you know. You can, that's fine. Yeah, my daughter's gonna sit in here. My older daughter is gonna sit in here because she also has not been feeling well. So, and she's gonna hang out because that's what she's been doing. Can I tell you that all I've been doing today is laying in bed. I got up and did 2 evaluations, and then, or a couple evaluations and consultation, and I went back to sleep. I had to call in to Homeschool Co-op today because this stomach virus has been awful, and it hit up Hannah too. So both of us pretty much laid in bed all day and watched Instagram reels and slept. So she's now just wants to hang out with mom all day. Naomi had it during camping, and I'll just leave it there. I won't go into detail, but that's how I got it. All right, I'm gonna read. You don't need those details, I'm sorry. Moving beyond well, let me see. Yeah, I hope that gives some ideas about teaching Down syndrome. Not always, it's wonderful, but it's not always easy. But it is wonderful because every little gain that she makes, you're like, yay! And you can see the progression like it's so clear when you see it, and every milestone is huge, and it's really fun actually. And I've enjoyed teaching her so much, and she's so excited when she gets something. So okay, so any opinions on moving beyond the page math? So I don't know too much about their math curriculum. I have used their basic curriculum, and I have found I love it actually, their basic curriculum. But I do know moving beyond the page, one of their things is that they write for the gifted child. And I don't know if their math is a full curriculum or a supplementary curriculum, but the only thing I do know is their program teaches towards the gifted child. So I don't really know much about their math except what I know about the company. So sorry, I can't really help there too much. Loves all things science. Any ideas? Oh my gosh, I love science. Science is my subject. That's what I teach at the co-op. Oh my gosh. I mean, having a science curriculum is great, but then doing all the field trips and all the trips. And I mean, obviously, I hope yesterday you went outside. I hope you were able to, well, I don't know what country you're from or if you're in America, but the solar eclipse, that was wonderful. Science field trips. There's so many. Just do the science field trips, do more experiments, let them explore. I don't know what area of science. Well, at a young age, it doesn't matter, but as they get older, it does. I don't know if he's young. I don't know what age he is, but the younger kids just getting out in nature, I mean, that's going to encompass all types of fields of science. I mean, everything from like physics on how things move and chemistry. Chemistry is good with cooking, and I mean, cooking's like the basic of chemistry, like the basic. But then the nature and the bugs and the animals and the plants and the dirt and the ground and the grass and all the things. And then how things, just taking your time and exploring those things. But field trips, oh my gosh, the museums you could go to. Oh, yeah, see, people are texting me. Yeah, so, no, I just got a text. That was an important text that I just read. So yeah, I think that's what you got to do with science, is just get more hands-on things. And there are some curriculum out there that will support that. Um, I mean, I like Apologia. I'm really big into Apologia. And I love that one. Answers in Genesis is good. And there's some other ones out there, just like Master Books is kind of tied in with Answers in Genesis, but Master Books has their independent science authors from all over that they've kind of collected and brought in. Um, you could just, whatever thing that he's interested in, you can hone in on that and do a search online um, too as well. But definitely get into nature, get into museums, and see what's going on around you. And that's what I would do. But yeah, field trips count big time. Okay. Y'all read my mind. I love that. Okay, so she's writing to to that question. I have a 2E gifted science learner. We love DK's Smithsonian encyclopedias, also the different clubs through the For the Love of Homeschooling. We really just let him do what he wants. Oh, thank you so much. Great idea to teach the same concept idea, but require different assessments from each level. Thank you. Good. My kiddos did the same thing as Naomi. We went over the same words, and he would say, I don't remember. 3 weeks later, he was reading fluently. Obviously, it was being absorbed in some way. Yeah. Just the one thing with like the one curriculum we use, So Happy to Learn, like the idea is just repetition. And even if they're not like actively engaged, because they're supposed to circle as they read, and if they're not reading, like you read it and then they repeat it back, like you point to it, like I see a cow, and then they go I see a cow, or they circle I see a cow. They're supposed to repeat it back, but sometimes they just don't want to repeat. My daughter really struggles with like circling and saying words, because that's really difficult to do, is like it's almost like multitasking. And so she struggles with that, or even pointing and saying the words. But if she just opens it up and she looks, she seems to do a better job. Or if I have flashcards and she looks at them, she'll do a better job. Okay. All right, any tips to help with spelling? I guess I would need to know grade level, but I'm a big fan of All About Spelling. I will always speak wonderfully about all of this about spelling. I do know as they get older, IEW has a really good program that you can that really blends in well with All About Spelling. So I mean, I can't even and some people get discouraged with All About Spelling because they say, well, I don't want to go backwards, and that kind of stuff. All About Spelling, even though level 1 makes you think first grade, level 1 was informative to me because it teaches you the foundations of the sounds of the letters. And like I told one parent, because she was so nervous about doing level 1, thinking that her high school or her middle schooler, I think it was going to go back to first grade spelling. It's not like that. It's just the beginning foundations of letter sounds. And even though like a first grader may take a whole year to do level 1 for All About Spelling, a middle schooler might take like 6 weeks, and they can just zoom through it and memorize it faster. It's all about memorizing those letter sounds. And then once you memorize letter sounds, then you move on to letter 2, and then it starts with blends, and then it's easy. So like a middle schooler could get through level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in like a year. But it's just getting down those foundations. So I mean, I cannot even, I feel like it really just lays that foundation very strong. But we need to go back and review All About Spelling because they were doing great for a while. And I think because we only did All About Spelling 1 and 2, but as the words have gotten harder, like they don't know the rules anymore. So I've got to go. I'm actually, when I do I'm probably going to do it sometime next week or the week after, what I'm doing for homeschool for the summer. What we are going to do, and my daughter's right here, she'll love this. We are going to do a spelling like, I don't know, crash course in spelling with All About Spelling, where we're all going to sit down and just go through all these things again. So yeah, I love that curriculum. That I feel like with spelling, I feel like that's like the go-to. There is Spell UC, which I'm hearing really good things about as well. But I mean, I've never used it, but I know Spell UC is another one that people are like, this is great. Yes, this is what I want. Because I will say All About Spelling does take some time to go through. Like, you have to sit with your child for like a period of time and go through everything. So, and it depends on them on how fast or how slow you go. So, I think Spell UC, I don't know much about them. It's related to Math UC. So, yeah. Okay, my 10-year-old has ADHD and is on the spectrum. Science is a special interest. It's hard to find something challenging for him. For a 10-year-old. I'm trying to, moving beyond the pages might be, they have some science stuff in there as well too. You might want to look at that. It combines it with literature though, which is kind of cool. And there's some stuff in there. Trying to think if there's anything else that like pops into my mind when it comes to science that would be challenging. I mean, a 10-year-old, I know Apologia has some stuff that they come out with, but you might be able to, I don't know which specific part, which field of science interests him, but when you, I just thought of another guy. Apologia for high school, middle school is difficult. So that might be something to look at. 10-year-old, maybe not. You might there's a general science and a physical science for middle school. Some people will say like the physical science is really good for 8th and 9th grade, but a 10-year-old is going to be like 4th grade. So that's a little bit too advanced. Some of the higher up Apologias, like the human body, anatomy, human body, might be good for them. There is that other guy, the Berean, is it Berean Press? It's the guy that left Apologia to start his own company. I think it's Berean. But anyway, that's also another one. But that he combines, if I'm not mistaken, science history with science. So, and I don't really, because I am very much a big fan of Apologia and Answers in Genesis and Master Book. I use those kind of resources. So I do need to learn more about his curriculum since I do teach science at the co-op. So, but yeah, I hope that helps. And then she says, do you guys like word games? Yeah, games are always great. We love games. Campfire curriculum, phonics around the campfire curriculum, and I've learned so much as an adult. Do you have literature ideas for middle school, like an ELA class? Or like, you mean like literature? I did, I mean, it did, there's so much. And I'm trying to narrow it down. I mean, Generations has a literature-based curriculum. I mean, I don't know if you want to go curriculum-wise or if you just want me to list you a bunch of books. But we did a lot of I mean, for me, when it came to literature, I had my kids take an amazing class at the co-op where it was American history and literature. So they actually read books pertaining to American history and like literally went through the history of America with literature-based books and then discussed it in class. They had to write like essays and stuff for the class. So for me, it was kind of like, I did like this thing, but it was only for 1 year. Other than that, I do make my kids read an hour a day. And we do read together. I know, we do a lot of reading. Hannah, what book are you reading right now? I'm putting you on the spot. She's looking, is it Struck?
Struck by Lightning.
Struck by, okay, so when it comes to reading books, I love this, it's a company, if you're Christian, this is perfect, or a believer. It's Lamplighters Ministries. I just started buying their books up with the scholarship that we have. And these books are so good. My kids are like sucking them down. and they're made for elementary, middle, and high school. And they have it listed on their website. And they're books that are written in like the 1800s, but they're biblically based and they're just really good. So that, and then we talk about them and discuss them and stuff like that. Another thing that what is it? Book Shark or Sunlight, both of them are literature-based curriculums, so you can get some ideas. I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll look at the Sunlight book list and they'll steal from that book list. Say, oh, those are great books. We're going to read them this year. There's also Language Plus. I'm sorry, my brain doesn't work tonight. And I don't know the name. I literally have a video that's gonna come out where I review this curriculum. It's strictly literature, and I think it's Language Plus. We did Anna Green Gables with it, and we did it for the middle school actually. And then there's like questions, and it's actually supposed to be a full ELA approach where they have spelling and vocabulary. I I loved the comprehension questions and the essay and the short answer questions. I was not, I mean, I get what they were trying to do with the vocabulary, and we did it. It was hard actually. Now that I think about it, I felt like it was a very challenging curriculum, but you can kind of gauge it out because they have different levels that you can use. I didn't like their spelling. That's what I didn't like. But then again, that's when I always go back to All About Spelling, because the way that is there's really only one way to learn spelling, and you have to approach spelling very mathematical and very rule based, because if you just throw words out there, you're going into memorization territory. What you want to do with spelling is almost how you deal with phonic learning. You want to learn the letters and the letter sounds and the combination and the spelling rules, and then you start to see the patterns within the different words and how things are spelled because you know the rules. And then once you get all those patterns down and those rules down, then you can spell almost anything. But if you're just getting like a bunch of words thrown at you at once and you're memorizing it, your short-term memory is going to kick in for a lot of these words, and then you're going to forget how to spell them. So a lot of these curriculums will do, hey, we're going to do the AY ending, day, stay, way, may, and you're learning all the A sounds. That's like just memorizing, instead of taking time and saying, okay, when an A is connected to the Y, use it during this time. This is how it's built. You can also use AE to make the A sound. Like instead you're learning, if that makes sense. So I did not like the way that Language Plus, I think I keep saying Language Plus, and I know it's probably a different, I'm missing a word there. And I'm looking over at my shelf because I feel like I have it in this room. But I don't see it over there. Language Plus. Somebody will correct me. So that's some literature ideas. But like read. My kids read an hour a day. Also, combining it with history. Try your best, like trying to combine the literature with history. And you can even we did a unit study. We did Not Consumed. They have a great missionary unit study with a little booklet, and you can get the missionary books. We did a couple of those. That was great. So I hope those helped. Okay. All right. She says All About Spelling. There's a colored version. The updated ones are now in color. All of science, we tried Apologia Earth Science, and he kept saying, I already knew that. We loved it, but it wasn't challenging. Yeah. Yeah, check out the older ones. It's going to be. He could also, the first thing that came to mind, does he read like a lot of just random science books around the house? Maybe that's why he knows so much about some stuff. So maybe the older ones are good. I think it's called Brian Press, with the guy that left Apologia. His name is, I wish I knew what field he liked. What's his name? You guys know, I've only had to eat today, very minimal. So my brain can't think all the time. So please fill in these blanks that I'm missing. So Spell UC actually didn't work for my intellectual disabled son. He found it boring, and so did I. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I love about homeschool is that sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. You can and you can nicely and quickly switch to something that does. Literature guides and reads you may have chosen. Literature guides and reads. Oh, she's explaining. Is that the same one? See, I have to go back. And literature guide. So I gave you that language arts plus reads you may have chosen. Oh, I think I answered that, right? Ooh, very Charlotte Mason. Is it? I like a lot of her philosophies. I don't try to tie myself to one specific philosophy because I want to do what's right for my kids and I don't want to get stuck in a rut. So I'll say I'm eclectic. But I do tend to lean, like in all honesty, if you're going to categorize me, I lean towards like Charlotte Mason classical education. I think that's what I end up doing. And by default. Yeah. I keep thinking like I might unschool a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think I do. Hold on, I have to adjust. Sorry, I needed to move myself closer to the camera. I don't think I unschool, like a true unschooler, and traditional definitely not. So I think yeah, classical and Charlotte Mason is where I kind of sit because that's like a happy spot for me. Plus, yes, Total Language Plus. Thank you. This is why I need you guys to comment. Give me Total Language Plus. Lamplighters Ministry books are awesome. They have a show. Yes, they do have a show too. A radio show, right? It's a radio show, or is it on YouTube? Because if it's on YouTube, I need to know these things. We did for Lamplighters. I'm actually going to increase it because my kids have sucked down all the books that I've ordered from them, all 3 of them. So I've been doing like the 3-book, like you can get a monthly subscription. So you'll get 3 books and you can order your subscriptions, but I'll get 3 books. They come in the mail every month and I can pick which ones I want. I'm going to bump it up to 4 because my kids read all of those 3 books. And my son is like, these were so good. Why, Mom? These are so good. And they're just really good. I'm going to do a video on it. I really am because it's like this hidden treasure and a lot of new homeschoolers jump into homeschooling and they don't know about it because they don't, and there's so much curriculum out there. So I feel like I almost should do like a video of like curriculum new homeschoolers should know about or resources new homeschoolers or hidden resource. I don't know. I got to think of some kind of name so you guys will click on it. Like sometimes my brain just like I try. You can tell in the beginning I was really trying, but it's not easy. I'm telling you what. Cool. Blessings from the Caribbean. I have 2 questions. Do you know of any comprehensive math books? Ones that go from basic to advanced, and do you know of any ESL book that is UK English based? So I don't know of any ESL language books that are UK based. If you guys watching do, please comment and I will read it out loud. Comprehensive, math books. I mean, I guess maybe I don't understand completely because I think of like Saxon goes from basic to advanced. Some people really hate Saxon, but people really love it. So it's like mix. BJU. I also curious about the age because there's some math books for younger kids that aren't available for older ones, such as Singapore Math. And that's a good one for younger kids. So, okay, if you were watching this video and have an answer to that question, please leave something in the comments to help her out. Because I really don't know any ESL book with UK English based. Is there more to that question? No, that's it. Is that hour of reading strictly literature? Oh, that includes reading from other... It's it's strictly literature. Unless it's like a history book from that history class that they take at the co-op. Or if it's a book that I'm having them read. But yeah, it is. I have had moments where I'm like, you really, really need, yeah, I think I've done it once or twice where I'm like, you really need to read your apologia book. And they'll read that instead. And then they'll jump back into their literature book. So, yes, Lamplighter's ministry is amazing. He reads encyclopedias for fun. He asks for a new one every birthday. Zoology is his favorite, but he loves it all. So zoos. Yeah. See, and it's so hard sometimes with these kids. Like, it's almost like we're struggling to keep up with them. Because they're like 5 steps ahead of us, 10, 20 steps ahead of us sometimes. Any advice helping a kid with autism to listen to read alouds? He has 0 interest. Well, then maybe that's not how he learns. I wonder if he doesn't have an interest, you can't, like, does he like reading them by maybe if you read it to him or sat with him and read it out loud to him, or maybe he just likes to read by himself. That just, you know, I wonder if there's like some sensory too with sound, because that could also be a thing. But I don't know him, so I can't. I mean, I don't know what is like his personality and what he's like. So maybe he just likes to read out loud to himself or read to himself. That could be. I wouldn't push it if he doesn't like it, because you want him to love reading. So, which may break Mama's heart, because read alouds are definitely one of our favorite things to do with our kids, where we make a lot of really good memories with them. So, you know, sorry, like, it's hard. That would just only be with the little information that I have, what I would say. Okay, please do that video. I'm homeschooled. I do not want grade base. It's just for parents. Oh. Like one. Ooh. So is this about the math book? I do not want grade base is for parent and not the child. Just a one-stop shop to pursue the various topics. Wow. I don't know. I feel like some of those math for beginner books or the math for dummy books, I don't know if that would work or not, but I know whenever I get those math for dummy or the blank, fill in the blank for dummy books, those seem to be very comprehensive. They don't go into the hard stuff though. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's the first one that comes to mind. I'm homeschooled and I love it. Oh, here's one. Theatrical audiobooks that helps me. Doesn't Odyssey have those? That could be something too. Okay, he's 7 and learning to read, but that's a good point. It could be a sensory related. He's very willing to read on his own for short spurts. Okay. Dr. J, Berean Builders. Yes, that is what I was thinking of. Jay, is it Wiles? With Berean Builders. He's the one that left Apologia and started his own. I don't know much about that science curriculum, but I know who was it that was talking about her son and science? Samantha. You might want to look at that. I don't know much about it, but just like, if you go to a homeschool convention, I just really stress, like, those are the best things ever, because you can have all these ideas and you can jot them down. And then when you go to the homeschool convention, you can go and start looking through different curriculum to see if they're matching up with what your goals are. So instead of buying the book and then looking at it and find out you don't like it, and then you have to turn it back in, you know. Oh, you don't have a convention. They do have online conventions, but those aren't very helpful. You can't look through the book. Oh, find a YouTube video and see them do a flip through. That's another way to do it. Even though you can't always find, you know, the best stuff. Okay, good. Theatrical audiobooks. Great. Do you guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I hope that helped with what we have. We're at 40 minutes. So, when did you start? When did I start homeschooling my youngest? Well, I mean, it depends what you define as homeschooling, but academically, I didn't really I just kind of merged into it. It's just kind of, I've started, we've always homeschooled. I never sent my kids to public school. So it just kind of flows. So when they're ready to learn how to read, you teach them how to read. And usually that's around preschool age. You follow their developmental milestones. And you just kind of build off of that. And we are year-round schoolers. So we don't ever stop the learning process. I know now that we've gotten older, we've been able to, so as we've gotten older, I've been able to give them a little bit more breaks here and there. And for the summer, I know this summer, I've gotten into this philosophy where you finish the curriculum that we did, just finish it up, and then we'll do a couple things that we need to work on. So let me see. Do you guys have any other questions? A lot of thank yous. And I think that's it. I think I got all of them, unless you guys have anything else to say. I'll be honest, if you guys are done for tonight, I will do it again next Tuesday, and I will advertise it, and I'm here to answer questions because I know this time of year is really difficult, and you can come up with questions. I do have consultations if you want to meet one-on-one, if this doesn't, because sometimes you want to talk. I don't know how you guys would feel about if there's some of you that are regulars on here, and I know that you're not just gonna jump on and say a bunch of things that'll get me kicked off, but jumping on here and having a conversation, I can do that. The curriculum video, wait, which one? You said, I thought of so many videos just now. You have to tell me which curriculum video. Because I don't know what I said. Yeah, I don't know if any of you want to come on here and have a chit chat. You will take half the screen and I'll take half the screen. I don't know if anyone wants to do that. Just message me or something and let me know if that's something that you would want to do, and we can kind of email back and forth and stuff like that. So you can ask me questions and then we can have a conversation. Other people can watch it if you want to do that. That is an option apparently on this now thing. Sorry, now I'm reading your comments. Thank you. Next year we are doing ancient history, medieval. Yay. I just saw Brian Builders as a science in the ancient world. Yeah, that might be really fun. Oh, about things homeschoolers, new homeschoolers, the secret, these secret things that aren't advertised as much. I mean, everybody knows the good and the beautiful, and everybody knows Becca, but you don't hear about lamplighters. And I think most people know about Apologia, but also, this is another thing that people don't know is I should have brought this up, science in the whole science curriculum world, master books, if you, I don't know, this might not be good for the video, but if you go through master books, they're all independent authors, and all of those independent authors are connected with different organizations. So, I'll show you now about things. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do for the summer. This I found this on Master Books. However, he's an independent author. I do an interview with him, and it's coming out not next week, the week after. I'm way ahead of schedule. I have more videos than I do. I have them booked. But this guy, okay, here, I'm going to talk about it on when I do the summer stuff. So he has his own the ministry organization, and you can find his information um, and learn more about him and the curriculum that he offers. And this one, I actually got this cheaper through him. And I think I did, now that I'm thinking about it. Did I? Or was it about the same price? But I mean, I don't know. You guys see the video with him. It's really, really good. It was probably, I'll be honest, because I love interviewing these science. I have a lot of interviews with science authors because somehow because of all the, I love science, I got really involved with like the homeschool science world. And oh, here's and also some of these authors from master books. There is a group that actually, if you're really into creation type science, there's a group that meets every Thursday on Zoom. Um, Creation Fellowship Santee, and they have different authors and different scientists that get in there and do a presentation, and then there's a Q&A afterwards. It's good for adults, and even kids like it too. More like high school, I would think. I don't know if Samantha's son would like that. He might. But then you get to talk to the author and chit chat with them. But it's Creation Fellowship Santee. I'm on there every week. It's my secret, like, it's not a secret anymore to 32 people online right now. No, it's I love it because it's just like this little community, and I get to meet all these authors, these homeschool authors. So yeah, there's that. I do, yeah, the science stuff with master books is good. It's really, really strong. I recommend their science stuff. I also recommend oh look, 30% sale now, so could be cheaper. So I do. I love the science with master books. And so, yeah. So I'm trying to think. Now I got to think of like 5 things, cuz like that's the number you do 5. 5 or 6. I don't know. There's like, they say something like if you do odd numbers, there's all these really weird like statistic things. If you do odd numbers, people will click on more. I don't know how true that is. But 5 things that new homeschoolers, 5 resources that new homeschoolers should know about. Teacher pay teachers. Do new homeschoolers know about teacher pay teachers? Oh, who'd you subscribe to? Master Books? And now I'm curious. Oh, Creation, yeah, and go like there's some real. Oh, I'm on there too because she interviewed me. And there's a bunch of If you go back in there, I didn't talk about science though. I talked about the high holy days. But yeah, and well, what you want to do, they're on YouTube, but if you go to their Facebook page, then you can do their live stream Zoom calls, and that's when you can answer the questions. So it's through their Facebook page where you find the Zoom link. The YouTube just takes the replay of those, and she has a really good Thursday. Who is the guy that she's doing? There's someone really cool this Thursday that's doing it. I don't know his name, but he's like really cool. That's all I know. They have some really good. They don't have Ken Ham on there, but everybody knows Ken Ham. But he's like the face behind it all kind of thing. But there are so many people that go much deeper into because it is biblical science and it is creation based. But there are so many other scientists out there that just go so much deeper than Ken Ham. Ken Ham is kind of like a businessman, and he's like the wide scope of things. But you're going to get, like I said, people like this guy who's Dr. Carl Warner. He's awesome. And I know, by the way, when I held this up, I should explain because it says evolution, the grand experiment. That is not pro-evolution. This is actually like the guy is what he's doing is trying to show you why evolution is wrong. That's the whole purpose of it. And apparently I got a signed autograph version of it. When I do that video, we're gonna do a giveaway too, by the way. He's a really cool guy. I liked him a lot. It was one of the best interviews I ever had. So you guys should definitely tune in to that one. And I said that before. But go back in the archives and look at some of those videos, Samantha, and see if there's anyone in there or any topic in there that you're like, ooh, we've got to watch this, or ooh, there's a really good one. There was a guy a couple weeks ago where he had his animals with him, and he was talking about all the different animals, and it's just a fun little one. Um, yeah. And then they have, oh, and what's cool is not only are these homeschool authors, but these are people that own museums or give tours. So there was a group that okay, creation, wow, it's going to be like booked. And Terry runs it and Robin runs it. They're going to be like, Leilani, what did you do? But I would love to see you guys because I'm on there and I chit chat and stuff. We'll stay, this is nerd coming out. It's Creation Fellowship Santee, and we will stay up till 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time chit chatting uh, on Zoom sometimes. Um, but I forgot what I was saying. Creation Fellowship Santee. The guy is amazing this next week. But oh yeah, so there was this one group out in Colorado, and they take you on this like dinosaur trail where you could see all the dinosaur, I think his footprints and other stuff too. And it's a tour group that takes you on tours out in Arizona, and I think it's Arizona or New Mexico. I don't know. I don't know much about the Midwest, unfortunately. I really want to know a lot about the Midwest. It's not the Midwest, it's the West. Because I've never been there. I've been to California and Washington State, but that's it. So I really want to go over to Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, that whole area. I'm dying to get my hands over there. So, but there's a group, they interviewed a group from there. So anyway, okay, I'm seeing more questions come in. Is there a website where I can find co-ops in Central Florida area? I have a hard time finding one for next year. Are you subscribed to, there is a Facebook group for Central Florida. Go on there and ask them, and they'll direct you, because there's a lot of new co-ops that are popping up all over the place that are starting up. Even in my area, there's some that I've never heard of before that are popping up. So I would just go on, I think it's like Central Florida Homeschooling or something like that. It's a Facebook group, and ask them in the group. So Creation Fellowship Santee. And yeah, I just plugged it away. So yeah, I guess if that's it, cool. If you guys don't have any other questions, all right. We're at the hour mark, so I'll be here again next Tuesday. If you think of anything in between, I am still doing evaluations for the state of Florida. I do know that I've been looking at my calendar. If any of you are in Florida and you wanted to book that stuff with me, it is booking up and my calendar is shrinking with availability. I am going to try to open up some more dates as we get closer to May. I know, because a lot of people will scramble last minute, and I kind of did that on purpose, so I have some room. So keep your eyes on that if you need to. And I still do consultations, not just specific to Florida, but I can do homeschool curriculum consultations. Or you can just come here and ask me questions. So thank you guys so much for jumping on, and I will see you next Tuesday. God bless, guys. You too. All right. Bye.